Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Thursday, July 9th, 2025. A man who was not wearing a seatbelt was injured in a collision on 29 Palms Highway after swerving to avoid an animal. On Wednesday morning at around 5:45 a.m., the California Highway Patrol says that Twaje Kimball, a 20-year-old resident of Phoenix, was driving a Lexus westbound on 29 Palms Highway in the Sheephole Valley Wilderness near milepost marker 58. The CHP says that Kimball made an unsafe maneuver which caused his vehicle to leave the roadway and overturn, ultimately landing on its wheels. They say that Kimball told CHP officer Jay Griffin that he had swerved to avoid an animal and was able to leave the vehicle and call 911. Kimball was taken by Morongo Basin Ambulance to High Desert Medical Center for treatment for a possible head injury. The CHP's investigation found that Kimball was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. After being caught inside a 29 Palms home, an alleged burglar claimed he thought he was in his grandfather's home. On Monday at around 2:30 p.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responded to a reported burglary in progress in the 6400 block of Bullion Avenue in 29 Palms. Deputies say they arrived and found Aaron Mason, 30, inside of the house. Deputies say that Mason was holding a suitcase containing clothing, a wallet, and multiple phones and chargers. Deputies say that Mason claimed he was in his grandfather's home. Deputies contacted the homeowner, who said that they did not know Mason and he did not have permission to be in the home. Deputies say damages to the home, including a broken window, a chair, and cleaning fees, was estimated to cost $2,400. Mason was found to have an active warrant for burglary and felony vandalism. Aaron Mason was arrested on suspicion of burglary in the first degree and is being held at the West Valley Detention Center on $90,000 bail. The suspect in a hit-and-run from last year returns to court yet again. Here is reporter Adeline J. Wells with more.
The suspect in a hit-and-run collision that resulted in the death of a Yucca Valley teenager returns to court Friday morning. Troy Reynolds is accused of striking 16-year-old Joshua Barreras with a vehicle and fleeing the scene on January 26, 2024. Reynolds' last court hearing was 6 weeks ago and resulted in a continuance following attorneys' comments that they were working towards a resolution in the case. It was the 9th time the hearing had been delayed. Troy Reynolds is charged with felony hit-and-run resulting in permanent injury or death. He is currently out on $500,000 bail. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Adeline J. Wells.
National park entry may soon be more expensive for international tourists. On July 3rd, President Donald Trump signed an executive order called Making America Beautiful Again by improving our national parks. The text of the executive order was officially published yesterday. It directs the Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, to, quote, develop a strategy to increase revenue and improve the recreational experience at national parks by appropriately increasing entrance fees and recreation pass fees for non-residents in areas of the national park system that charge entrance fees or recreation pass fees. The executive order also directs the Secretary to grant American residents preferential treatment with respect to any remaining recreational access rules, including permitting or lottery rules. The Department of the Interior has not yet issued any further comment about the status of the plan or any upcoming change in fees or how a visitor's residency will be proven. Z107.7 contacted Joshua Tree National Park staff to see how our local park may be impacted, but have not yet received a response. The board of directors of the Bighorn Desert View Water Agency held a special meeting last night with the intent to appoint a new board member, but they did not. Here's Annalise Kuiper with the details.
The initial deadline to apply for the position of board member was July 1st, but it soon became apparent that this was not going to give interested candidates enough time to go through the application process. While some applications have already been received, the board voted unanimously to extend the application deadline until Monday, July 14th at noon. The water agency encompasses the unincorporated communities of Flamingo Heights, Landers, and Johnson Valley. If you live and vote within these areas, you are eligible to apply. Any applicant wishing to be considered for this position should call the agency's office at 760-364-2315 to obtain an application form. A special meeting will be held on Wednesday, July 16th at 6 p.m. Candidates will be interviewed, a selection process will be completed, and the candidate who receives 3 or more votes will be sworn in and appointed to the Board of Directors. Located at 1720 North Cherokee Trail in Landers, the meeting will begin at 6 p.m. The public is most welcome to attend. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Annalise Kuiper.
The Copper Mountain College Board of Trustees meets in regular session today to receive information about immigration enforcement activities, consider their organizational chart, and welcome new staff members. They will also accept public comment on their intention to negotiate contracts with the Copper Mountain College Faculty Association. The board meets in public session today at Copper Mountain College's Bell Center at 3 p.m. The City of 29 Palms Parks and Recreation Department continues their 2025 summer event series with a screening of The Princess Diaries at the Lucky Park soccer field. This is a free, family-friendly screening of the hit comedy in which Anne Hathaway plays a nerdy teen who learns she's actually royalty. Julie Andrews also stars in this family classic that begins at 8 p.m. Children must be accompanied by adults, so bring a lawn chair or a blanket and come down to Lucky Park, located on Joe Davis Drive and Utah Trail in 29 Palms. The Flamingo Heights Community Center is hosting a craft night tonight from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Crafters of all levels are welcome for a craft gathering. All craft projects are welcome, and materials will be provided. Artist Sierra Kalin will lead a simple, guided sewing activity in which attendees can make a jewelry pouch. The event is free, though donations are welcome, and it begins at 7 p.m. at the Flamingo Heights Community Center, located at 55977 Paris Street in Flamingo Heights. If you know a neighbor, coworker, friend, or business that makes our community stronger, a longtime local nonprofit wants to recognize them too. And the deadline to nominate is today. Online news editor Robert Hayden has information.
Basin-Wide Foundation is accepting nominations for its 27th annual awards celebration. The yearly awards event honors local volunteers, nonprofits, businesses, and organizations that go above and beyond to uplift our community, and they're looking for people like you to help recognize those making a difference in the Morongo Basin. Nominations are open now through July 10th at 9 p.m. There are 8 different categories in which you can submit your nominations. Awardees will be honored during the 27th annual awards celebration and dinner on Thursday, August 28th. Tickets to the event will be announced after the nomination period ends on July 10th. Basin-Wide Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting local service, connection, and collaboration throughout the Morongo Basin. You can learn more and submit nominations by heading to their website. It's www.basinwidefoundation.org. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
A new art gallery in Yucca Valley is holding a fundraising silent and live auction on Friday, and 2 representatives from the gallery will be on the Up Close show tomorrow morning. Katie Nartonis, the gallery director, and Tammy Rolliff, the chair of the Gala Art Auction, will talk about the gallery that's been open for only a year, the art that residents can bid on, and what the funds raised from the Gala Art Auction will be used for. That's tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Z107.7 on the Up Close show, available as a podcast tomorrow afternoon. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.